Ciao ragazzi, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. Today is Tuesday, July 27th, 2021. Things will be about a little bit different today than we're used to, at least with the channel and everything that's been going on. I apologize, it's been a mess today. I appreciate you guys for being with us and sticking with. I see some slight rage in the chat, but I apologize. It's been a mess. Just to give you a little bit of background, basically what's been going on today. Usually I'm able to pre-record, do all the news shows, do all that's going on with everything with the news. Unfortunately, what happened is today I have a big job for my, the job that pays me. That job, I had to go to Indianapolis, which if you're aware of anything with the United States, it's 2 hours away. So I was driving back 2 hours, but now I'm here and now we can run down the news. And unfortunately, Julian's out for today too. So it's all waiting on me. Anyway, let's just get started. What I'm going to do here, a little bit different than maybe Julian normally would have done when he does the news rundown. But basically what I plan to do is I'm just going to run down the news like I normally would in our video. And then I'll talk in the chat with you guys. But I appreciate you for bearing with us. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Also, things have changed since this morning when we had, graphics and stuff made. So let's go ahead with the very first news story of the day. And this is a goal Brazil. Marcelo Hazan, or, I'm probably going to say it wrong, whatever, is reporting basically the situation with Kaio Jorge. It's been changing all day. Everything's been going on with it. We have Kaio Jorge has not trained with Santos, first team to face. Oh Jesus! Here we go. Here's the first thing that's gonna get me. Renz, whatever. On Wednesday in the Brazil Cup, talks started a way to negotiate a financial compensation from Juventus to Santos for an immediate transfer this August. And then also on top of that, we have Romeo Gresti, who reported literally minutes ago, some of you probably already saw it, that Juve, who defined yesterday the agreement with the entourage of Kaio Jorge, are thinking about a compensation that does not exceed 2 million euros. If Santos won't accept, the Bianconeri will work to close the arrival of the player on a free. So to me, that's just great news. That's actually a lot of what, Julie and I have been talking about in all the lives and everything that's been going on. I talked about in some of the transfer meter show and all the news videos that we do. If Juventus, things seems now they're going to get him. They should lock him down. They should be good for the future with this player. Where am I going with this? Basically the whole situation with him, they shouldn't pay more than 2 million euros. Honestly, 2 million euros might be, I'm not going to say too much, but it might be generous when it comes to Juventus offering that to Santos. The whole situation with them, they're not happy. They would rather sell him to Benfica or whatever, who are going to pay him 6 million or whatever they're going to pay. But luckily we have the, I'll talk about that in a second, guys. I appreciate the comments. But basically the situation when it comes to that, we have, where was I going with this? Where was I? Oh, yes, there it is. Benfica, AC Milan, and all of that going on. They want to offer money. At this stage right now, Juventus knows that they can wait till January to get him for free. So hopefully they'll work something out with him. I think there was something, I saw it as I was sitting down, basically some comments about basically he could work some situation where he could join the U23 if Santos something doesn't work out. Whatever it is, we'll see what's going on. Either way, they're going to get him either soon or they'll wait till January. Hopefully they'll work it out sooner than later. 2 mil. Hopefully with Juventus, we know they don't have a lot of money, but at this stage, we'll see what happens when it comes to if they can even pay that 2 million to get him. Let's move ahead to actual news that I actually have in front of me that I'm not kind of just winging it in this situation. And that news that we have, we'll move on to the Locatelli situation. And as much as it's news for you guys, it's news for me. So I'm popping this up as we're talking. Let's see if my computer will work for me. I see that for you guys, you can see it before I can. Here we go. Sassuolo and Juventus are meeting. This is Gazzetta dello Sport who's saying that Sassuolo doesn't want 25% on the future sale of Locatelli. The club will meet tomorrow. The feeling is that the deal will be closed for 35 million euros. I think with all that we've been going through, I think all of you will probably agree with me. Just get the deal done at this point. I think that is fair. I think it also, I see down there, they're saying that YouTube is messing with the quality. It could be YouTube. It just could be me. Sorry, Homo Juve. Julian's out. He's got wedding stuff that he's working on right now that he's got to deal with. Don't worry. You won't have to deal with me much more you'll deal with me on the pre-recording stuff. He'll be back tomorrow or whatever. Anyway, I'm hoping this deal gets done. I think the latest news that we had is basically that meeting for Locatelli will be on Thursday of this week. I can understand why they don't really want the 25% on the future set Locatelli, mainly because I think they see the value in the player of what he can bring into the midfield, and they think that, Juventus probably isn't going to sell this kid if they don't have to. So, which is understandable. Hopefully that 35 million will get the deal done, and we can, finally stop obsessing over the Locatelli drama that we've been having. Let's move on. Here we go. The next story of the day, that we have a news report from Tuttosport saying that there are no right offers are being made when it comes to Demiral. They're saying at first Dortmund looked willing to pay 30 to 35 million euros for Demiral. Today they now they want to get him on a loan deal with an option to buy. The one thing I want to say about this, and I understand there's a lot of you, maybe you're saying this in the chat and maybe I'm missing out on it, but basically when it comes to Demiral, I could understand the idea of wanting to be able to bring him back to the club, bring him back in to the fold. He's a solid defender. He brings a lot to the table. But Juventus want this money. I don't really like the loan option either way. I'd rather just go ahead and get it sold so we can get our money, pay for Locatelli, whatever else that we need at this time. But I hate if you're going to do a loan deal with an option to buy. I don't even want to hear the word option when it comes to this summer transfer market. I want an obligation, and that's what it needs to be. It's similar going on. I think it's just right now Juventus aren't happy with it either, and that's why we're not seeing anything moving forward there. Hopefully, things will pop up, and we'll see what goes on from that. Okay, let's move on to the next story. Then I'll jump in the chat. Sorry, guys. Then we have, Demiral also. We have Gazzetta dello Sport, and they're saying that Demiral's priority is playing games with Juventus. If Allegri makes it known that he will not be a regular starter, then at that point he will look for a move. Kind of interesting, kind of a flip from what we've heard. I mean, we kind of known that the whole point of, Demiral being open to even making a move right now, it's basically just because he's not getting play time. He didn't get a lot of playing time at all last season. We saw him, in spurts here and there, but really he was, I don't want to say underused, but he just wasn't used because we had other guys, ahead of him in line when it came to that situation. And not really a lot to go on from here. We'll see if he can convince Allegri, maybe, in some of the preseason stuff or while he's still here. We'll see what Allegri says, though, because if there's one thing we learned about Allegri today is that he is very blunt. He's a very blunt individual. He's the kind of coach that I love. I love this attitude. I love the way that he's bringing, that to the table for right now. So anyway, we'll see what happens with that situation. Wait. Did someone say I need to chill? Are you saying I need to slow things down by chilling, or what are you saying when you say that? Let me know. Here's the thing: the way that I talk whenever I'm shooting these lives, it's because I'm so long-winded and I say so much. I try to just get it out as quickly as possible. So these parts of the news and the video, when it comes to that, aren't going to be a half hour long. I know I talk a lot. At first, when I started doing these, I was like, how am I going to cover 10 minutes? That has not been a problem. So that's why I talk fast. If you need me to slow down, I understand there's also people that may be joining us today that English may not be your first language. So I apologize. Maybe you could hit that. I don't know if it works for lives that you can slow down the playback or whatever. But I apologize. I'll try to slow down, maybe enunciate a little bit clearer for, like I said, if it's not your first language. Yeah, just breathe. Yeah. That is a big problem with me. I do need to do that. I know. I'm just, like I said, I'm just trying to get it all quickly. All right. There's a breath. Okay. Romeo Grassi talking about Frabotta, that he's still leaving, saying there's Basel, and Verona on Frabotta. The Italian fullback will not stay at Juventus. So, again, nothing really new there. We kind of knew the situation. He was going to move. Kind of interesting that he didn't throw in Genoa there. I know that they potentially added a player. I'm not sure if it's at his position or not. No offense, I don't follow Genoa that closely, but that was one of the top names that I had heard for the longest time. We'll see if that remains one of the main names going forward. Next story up, and I apologize. I know this is not easy for Alejandro. He's able to skip through these, but I do, like I said, I know I move quick, probably a lot quicker than Julian, because I know Julian kind of took his time to go deep into it. But what I want to do is cover all this, come back, and then get your feelings, and we can go back to each little topic if you would like. And then we have some reports, some quotes from Andrea Agnelli talking about Chiellini, basically saying that he's staying for sure. I know he kind of went at the journalists a little bit that were in the room, kind of saying, well, I'll just read it. On Chiellini, you guys amuse me. He wrote that he was offended. No one called him. I heard it. Then he says, I heard him last Monday, and it seemed ridiculous to me to interrupt the Juventus captain's holiday to sign a contract. There are absolutely no problems. Again, I think it's one of those things I think us as fans may also make something of that situation. When we look at it and we're just like, why have they not signed, a 20-year veteran? Why is that deal not done? Makes sense. Let him enjoy his vacation. Let him enjoy that Euro. But I think it's also just when it comes to Juventus, sometimes we can be a little bit on edge that the worst may happen. I guess that's the way I look at it. Thank you, PM. Sorry, my eyes are killing me. Whatever. Thanks on hitting 1K subs. I appreciate it. Thank you all. Thank you all for allowing us to hit 1K subs, to be honest. We can't do it without you all. So I appreciate you guys being here. Let's move on to the next story, and let's see if my thing will load. Okay, here we go. Well, if it'll load. Okay, and then we got the Tutto Sport saying that about the Allegri Dybala situation, saying with the arrival of Allegri, everything changed for Dybala. Max told the club he wants to keep him. The club will offer him a contract until 2025 worth 10 million euros a season. Again, I also saw some reports saying 8 or 9 mils what they're offering. I don't know if that's without putting those bonuses in there yet. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, it seems pretty obvious. I feel like this is when it's news, but it's not like new news, if you're with me, because we've kind of known since Allegri came back that changed everything for Dybala. If Pirlo would have stayed, or if Paratici would have stayed, Dybala probably would have been on the move going forward from here. Yes. Okay. Let's move on to the next little bit that I have. And I don't know why. I think my internet is just really bad right now, guys. Yeah, because I was frozen in some stupid pose. And then we've got Max Allegri and some of his comments that he made. Basically, and I'll get into a little bit of some of the things that Allegri said, but let's cover the main ones that we have graphics for and the ones that were really important to talk about. Basically just said that it's an important season for Dybala. Dybala has the numbers on his side. This year has the chance to prove his worth. I had a very good perception. I left a boy and found a man again. I love some of his wording. Just cracks me up. I don't know why. Just listening to his, I'm sure most of you listen to his presser or at least got the, the translated version. And just a lot of stuff cracked me up. Anyway, he said he knows it's an important year and he's presented himself at his best. Let me make sure. Let me check to see the next story that we have going here to see if it's related to this situation. No, it's not. I'll take a timeout real quick and talk about the vice captain situation with Dybala. Feel free to comment on this. Also, Alejandro, let me know if that was coming up. If I'm just skipping ahead, let me know and I'll whatever. But I want to talk about that situation when it came with Dybala, just because I guess so many of us were, I think we've talked about it. Okay, thanks, Alejandro. Basically, between myself and Julian, we kind of debated a little bit the situation. So Dybala is going to be vice captain now. Where does that put De Ligt going forward? Obviously, it seems like Allegri's got more of an old school way of doing things, where he basically comes in and he goes by how long you've been here continuously. Not from, he left Bonucci out in the cold. That's basically what it is, saying, Bonucci, you're not a captain anymore. Dybala is. He's the one with the second most, I guess, tenure or whatever you want to call it, seniority. So that was an interesting move to me just because I feel like so many of us were looking at, is it going to be Dybala? Is it going to be De Ligt? A lot of people were leaning toward De Ligt and wanting to see De Ligt do that, to be that going forward. One thing, I don't know, it kind of cracked me up. One thing I would say about Allegri and the way that he operates is he basically came in and just put it on the table. He just put it right on the table. You know what I'm talking about when I say it. He just did it. He swung a big stick. He's not going to take any crap from anybody. He's the coach that I love. He's the coach. His personality when it comes to the way he approaches players, the way he deals with the media, the way he deals with whatever reminds me of so many coaches that I had growing up. Playing American football, and I love it. It pumps me up. It gets me excited. It makes me want to play for this man. But also, I feel like, and yeah, that's what I was going to get to, was the Bonucci situation. I feel like some people may have taken it. I think he was just playing with Bonucci a little bit. I know there's a history there with him and Bonucci. I know before, I'd say before we know it, I feel like Bonucci's going to be up on a stool, before the end of the season at some point. But, it's kind of one of those things. It's kind of funny to me that he literally came in, Bonucci and Chiellini riding high off of this Euro 2020, the the great performance and all that coming in, and he's not afraid to be like, yeah, that captain's armband. What was the exact quote? Was that captain's armband? If he wants that, he's gonna have to go buy it from somebody off the street or whatever. Hilarious. Just loved. I loved everything about that. He doesn't play any games. I have a lot of other things I would say, but I promise, I believe it was Edgar, that I won't curse, so I won't get too hyped up and use some of the more colorful words when I want to talk about this. But just absolutely love what he brought, the energy he brought. You can tell this guy is the coach. He is the boss coming in here, and what he says goes. And either step in line or get the hell out of the way. Sorry, Edgar, if that's a curse word to you. I'm not using the harshest words. Let's move on to the next topic in the situation. And here we go. For a lot of you guys. We've got the Bernardeschi situation, and we're saying Bernardeschi is important. He's important to the club, guys. Max Allegri said, my thought is that a player is either good or not good. Then you can have difficult years for many reasons. Bernardeschi is an important player who will come back with the right mentality. There's an analogy that I used earlier today that I think about when it comes to the Bernardeschi situation. At some point, I want to buy into what Allegri's saying. I like what Allegri's saying. I like what he's coming to the table with. I want to have hope that Bernardeschi can do something. But let's relate it to this. Okay, yeah. Thank you. I didn't say it earlier. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. We still want to keep growing. We appreciate hitting 1,000, but we want to keep growing. If you want to be a part of this, we'd love to have you in our community. But like the video as well, it really helps us. Now, back to what I was saying. When it comes to the situation with Bernardeschi, it reminds me of I feel like most people know this name. It's a pretty polarizing figure as well. And that's, yes, put a maximum of likes, guys. But anyway, it reminds me of Kanye West. I'm going to let that sit out there for a second. So what I'm saying when I say Kanye West. So my guy's coming out here with another album. He had a couple, he had one good album, I'll say at least. I think it was when I was in middle school. He put out some decent performance. If you know what I'm saying, I think it was that College Dropout or whatever it was. Yet now, year in and year out, in the last 5 years, they've been telling me that, whatever this album he's coming out with is going to be a masterpiece. It's going to be great. It's his resurgence. It's his whatever, Mona Lisa and all this crap. And then he gets, 40,000 people to sit in stands listening to him bang on a drum for 30 minutes, and you're going to tell me art. It's not art. That's it. And that's kind of how I view Bernardeschi is. I kind of view he's not going to get that back, maybe. I don't know. I want to see Bernardeschi get it back. Kanye West, I don't care if he gets anything back, but I don't need my man sitting here in a stadium wearing a sock over his head telling me he's an artist, telling me he's whatever, the top of his game, or that he is the best of the best. I know Bernardeschi's not saying that. I just don't think Bernardeschi's going to be that, if that makes sense. Maybe this analogy wasn't working, maybe it wasn't hitting, but whatever. That's the way I look at it. Let's move on to the next part of this. I think I said enough on Berna. Alejandro, what are you doing to me? I know that this is part of it. Yes, what is this show? You let me have the reins, big guy. You let me come out here, have the reins, say what I want. And this is what I'm doing. I'm going to derail this thing. That's kind of my platform. I understand maybe if you're an American, maybe you can get a little bit more out of this and understand what I'm doing. I feel like some other people want me to be a little bit more on track, but that's just who I am. Don't worry, Julian will be back and he'll tell you. He'll stay on track with all the serious stuff. Anyway. I told you I wasn't going to read this stuff. I wasn't going to report on this stuff anymore. I'm done with it. But here he is throwing this crap in front of me. So let me read it. Max Allegri is saying that a Pjanic 2.0 hint was given from him today. He said, free kicks. I try to exploit the characteristics of the players. Ronaldo's better from far. Dybala up close. Then one is right-footed and one left-footed. So it's easy. Is that better and slower for everybody? Is this what you're enjoying? Are you enjoying me talking like this now compared to my speed reading? Then if a good right-footed player who will arrive, we'll see. He's crushing me, guys. I'm being crushed. I've been fighting this war. I've been waging war when it comes to the situation. And yep, here it fixes in. You're right. Candyman will come. Yeah, and he'll only come if Ramsey's on his way out. That's basically the situation with that going forward. I'm not happy about it. I'm glad at least Alejandro confirmed this to me in our own private thing real quick. Is this the last bit of the story that we have for this? So I can actually jump into the chat for real. But basically, that's where it is. I try to keep Pjanic at the end of this. He knows what he's doing. He jumped it on me. Otherwise, I would have just ended the stream. But that's basically the news rundown of what we have right now. But we also, there's plenty of stuff going on that we can talk about here. So now I'll take this time to go ahead and jump in the chat. If you have any questions, any thoughts you want to share, let me know down below. Let's go back to the start. Let's see. I apologize for, like I said, maybe not ignoring you guys, but just trying to make sure I got through the daily news video stuff I do. What basically happens is in the morning or whenever when I shoot this, I usually just get on a roll, do it, and then, and then I get to work on it. So that's just my way of doing it. Let me know if you prefer the other one. All right, here we go. The first bit of comments we have. A lot of people asking if everything's okay. A lot of people raging because I'm taking way too long. Again, apologize, guys. That's all my fault. Honestly, I guess I wasn't sure. Yeah, Ryan says, wow, quite a long ride. Joseph Carballo, is it Carballo or Caballo? And I apologize. You've been on here for a bit. He said, what do I do? So my day job, I'm a private investigator is what I do. So it doesn't really tell you much, but I do a little bit of everything. Anything you can imagine, I've probably done it. That's what I do. It's always something different. It's also why I'm able to, work on this channel and, commit myself to this channel is because I am my own boss for the most part when it comes to my job. So I can schedule things and I can come in and out, do these videos as often as possible. It works. It's been a great job. I enjoy doing it. But that's basically it. That's as much as I can say about what my job really is. There's not much to it. Let's see. Yeah, a long ride. Yeah, with this kind of job, you're all over the place. Clement said, I announced you another new signing, Jacob Kovacic. Alejandro, can you fill me in on this? Clement's over here just dropping things left and right. Is this? Oh wait, Juve signs another young player. He's a goalkeeper. Don't you get me in here? Is this another U23 player or Primavera or something like that only Clement's gonna know, or not only Clement? But you know what I'm saying? Where I'm gonna be like, what are we talking about? Anyway, I appreciate it. Let's see. Yeah, Giovanni was asking, is he first team? Then Ryan, yeah, goalkeeper. Yeah, even Alejandro doesn't know what you're talking about, and he knows everything. So here we are. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Okay. Then Andrew said, oh, ciao, Justin, how are you? I'm doing great. Thanks, guys. Homo Juve was upset that Julian is not here. That's fine. No, that's cool. I'm okay with it. I understand. Let me see what else we got here. I hope this works. Thoughts about Allegri's press conference. Kind of already went over it a bit, but I loved it. Love his personality. Loved that kind of just the attitude that he brings as a head coach. That's a head coach. I'm using American terminology. As the manager, as whatever you want to call him, as the coach of the team, he brings what I'm looking for in a coach. He's bringing something that as a player would have wanted to play for. It hypes me up. I love that he's not afraid to call out some people. That's kind of what some of these need, because these players are a little bit too comfortable with what they're doing, and he's actually willing to come in and take them to the woodshed a little bit and be like, you're not all that you think you are. Hopefully, maybe he'll do that with Ronaldo as well. So we'll see what goes on with that. Let's see. Homo Juve, Sassuolo don't want to sell him. Just move on and sign someone better like Pogba or Aouar. I don't know that they don't want to sell him. They just want to try to milk this for as much money. I think they understand he's gone. I don't think it's that. It is annoying, though. I think we're all pretty annoyed and fed up at this point. I'm just going to sit here, be patient till Thursday. If nothing happens Thursday, then I might, I'm not going to rage, but I'll be a little bit unhappy at that situation. Yeah, classic Max conference, great stuff. It really was. It was fantastic compared to what we've been used to with the last couple of years of, Asadi and then even Pirlo. They're just not bringing that intensity, that attitude, that whatever. I love it, guys. It's everything that I need from a coach. It truly is. Just inject that directly into my bloodstream every day. What else do we have, guys? Let's see. No way more than 40 million or deals off. Yeah. Apparently Demiral. Oh, yeah, that's what I was talking. The fix is always in. Says apparently Demiral says he wants to stay and prove himself now. Apparently, Yeah, but I mean, I think that's kind of what any player is going to say, especially when your options of moving out maybe don't seem as appealing as the location that you currently are at. Like I would say the same thing too. Ryan says, I hope Demiral can stay to prove himself like Dragustin. He wants to stay with us. I think he does, but I think what's most important, what should be most important to him is playing time. Yeah, you got to have playing time. Otherwise, what are you doing? Otherwise, you're just hurting your own career, your own future, and most importantly, your bank account. Haneen says, option is just a loss-loss deal. Would be stupid to do it. Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of people annoyed with Locatelli and his situation. I don't think Allegri likes Bonucci too much after that. If he wants captain, he can go buy a band. I love that. The comment it's my favorite. Let's see. You guys are talking back and forth. A lot of conversation between you guys. Yeah, I do like the way Allegri doesn't bend to the press. He shoots them down. I think a lot of people like that. Obviously, if you're a member of the press, there is a job that the press is doing. I feel like a lot of time in sports, I think about locally here in the United States, the press gets a bad rap because people like to twist it a little bit. But there was a reason, at least like in America, we have, the freedom of the press is, number one. It's the First Amendment here. I'm not trying to push our laws and constitutions or whatever on you all, but basically there's a reason for that. It's because you got to hold your higher ups accountable is the way I look at it. So they're doing the same thing in sport. Otherwise they could go easy and just chill. But at the same time, I do like the way he kind of came out and he held his ground too. Didn't just bend to some of the guys who could just go out and attack him in the future. I know I kind of rode the fence a little bit there, but if that makes sense, hopefully it does. Let's say I hope Dybala shows mental strength to become a leader. Yeah, that's the one thing I worry about. That's the one thing that I'll be honest, when it comes to the debate between De Ligt and Dybala, we had this conversation, Julian and I, but do you think that Dybala has what it takes to be a leader? And when I say that, do you think he will be the guy who can get in somebody's face and pump them up or tell them to get their bleeping gear or whatever it is that that you may need in that moment? Do you think he'll be the one to do it? Or do you think somebody else? Do you like even Bonucci, who, has been demoted basically with Allegri's arrival? Or do you think there's somebody else that would be better? That's the one thing that I would critique. A lot of the times in sport, I understand the way he's doing this and the way he's doing it with really just seniority and consecutive years and all that. But sometimes, honestly, it's his personality is more important than anything. Yeah, you want to have somebody who's been there and experienced all of it, but you also want to have somebody who can take charge, get in your face and hype you up, or pump you up, or take or whatever, get in gear, whatever it is. That's why I wonder if somebody else. I don't know. I haven't really I see the passion and the effort from De Ligt. I don't know how much I've seen from him with other players. That's the one thing where you talk about Ronaldo. The one thing I'm kind of surprised he doesn't seem to have is that kind of effort to get in somebody's face and get them straightened up, especially for what he expects out of himself. He should expect out of the other players, but he should also play a hand in getting in their face and telling them to do it. Does that make sense? Oh no. See a couple of these comments. Okay. Let's see. Allegri's boss, I like that CR7 we put in line. Yeah, you kind of need that, and I'm kind of hoping that will happen. Really hoping that CR7, maybe he could actually improve his situation at Juve by actually getting in line and listening to Allegri and listen to what he says. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's see. Alexander should retire with Bonucci and Chiellini. Yeah, sure. What else we got? Kanye West or Eminem? Are you asking me between those two rappers? If I'm being honest, when it comes, okay. This is what I would love to do, but I feel like you guys don't want to hear me talk about music or rap or whatever it is. Between those two, I'm honest. Not that I'm not high on either one. I feel like a lot of them. I remember as soon as I turned 18, I felt like everything that came out after that, I just felt like there was crap. I think that happened in South Park. There was an episode where literally Stan comes out and literally all he hears is literally crap noises when new music comes out, and that's kind of what it is for me. There's certain stuff I can deal with if Kanye West has a song or Eminem has a song that's good, but right now I prefer their old stuff than anything. It's an old man get off my lawn take, but it is what it is. And then Edgar says that Bernardeschi is a necessary evil for the season. Allegri gets the best out of him as a utility player. I hope so. That's what I want to see. I want to sit back a little bit and understand. I'm going to be, I I guess, like calm. I don't want to be. I wouldn't even say that I'm be optimistic, but I'll be calm. I'll just be calm, see what happens. Not gonna be upset. Not gonna be angry with them. At some point, like I feel like that should have been killed in all of us. If you're still getting overly excited or overly, built into whatever with him. Let's see. Andrew, I hope we can score more than one free kick in 2 years with free kick layout under Max. Yeah, he's gonna bring in that guy who'll be great for it. A great right-footed free kicker. I think is what he said. Home of Juve. I'll be happy if we sign Aouar, Locatelli, and Kaio this summer. Yeah, I'd be happy with that too. We'll see. I've heard nothing about Aouar. I don't think Aouar is going to happen unless something last second happens. I just don't see it. But fix Bernard lost his mojo like Austin Powers. Yes. I love this. I'm getting you guys to actually do pop culture references instead of just being super serious about Juventus, because there's only so much that we can really be serious about. Otherwise we're going to drive ourselves crazy. If you know what I'm saying. Let's see. And then there's the Candyman comment. Yep. Ryan, we have to sell players first, then buying. So far in this transfer market, just Locatelli and Kaio Jorge would be enough. Yeah, that's kind of where I am. I don't want to say I'm surprised. I also don't want to put too much into Kaio Jorge and think that he's going to be some, world beater star that's going to come in and change Juventus' season. That's just not what, or change, their trajectory or whatever you want to call it. I don't think that's what he's going to be. For the team for this upcoming year. I think he's just going to be a solid developmental player for the future. Maybe he can get in, during a few matches where it's not the top competition. But at the same time, I'm happy with Locatelli. I would like to get one other, even I talked about in the transfer meter show. I'd even like to get, just if you get a small piece, even Florenzi. I know a lot of guys aren't happy on him. Just a little piece like that in, not super expensive, but can add depth in a position where we could use it, or maybe not where we could use it, but at least it would be allow other people to move around. And then also with injuries, you never know. Mainly because there's just not a lot of options out there right now when it comes to Juventus, especially affordable options. Let's see. You got to play. Yep. You got to sell. Let's see. Edgar says it's harder taking free kicks from near. What Allegri has basically said is CR7 will take easier free kicks and Dybala takes the harder one. Yeah. That's exactly what he was saying. Basically Dybala is more capable. CR7, if you want to try to get one where you think you'll actually be able to do it, sure. Let's see. But and Joseph right after exactly where I am. And it said Ronaldo shouldn't touch another set piece ever. Honestly, I wouldn't. I think I talked about this before. It may be kind of a hot take, but if Bernardeschi's out there playing, I'd rather him take them than Ronaldo at this point. Not that his were perfect, but they didn't go directly into the wall every time. So that's my thought. Okay. Then we have I think you said your name is said Giuliano. Is that correct? I do have a question regarding the Ronaldo situation. Do you believe he will renew his contract for one more year, or do you believe he will leave as a free agent next year? I don't know. I was actually leaning toward. There's a lot of news reports saying that he was leaning toward asking for another year. I think it really depends on what happens with PSG. Does Mbappe move to Real Madrid or whatever? Does that end up happening? Does that play out? There's so many little pieces that have to move that affect Juventus. Real Madrid was going after Haaland, and then we talk about Mbappe in that situation. If something happens where a movement gets moved there and it opens up that spot for Ronaldo to go to PSG, then I think he won't sign on for another year. But then I could see if nothing happens there, if no movement happens, I could see him signing on for one more year, mainly just to guarantee him that money because he's going to get it regardless. We'll see if Juventus will actually entertain it. Just because the reason I'm kind of confused is, we came in here with the idea that Allegri came in he came in saying, CR7, Ronaldo, whatever, is not in my plans. Dybala is my guy going forward, not Ronaldo. So that's where it's just the answer. I gave you a really roundabout answer, but it's all just dependent on the pieces and how they fall with PSG is the way I look at it right now. Let's see. Clement, there's a source that said Kaio Jorge didn't train this morning in Santos and Juve in talks to bring him into Torino this summer. Yeah, I did see that one. We'll see if they end up agreeing to like that $2 million or €2 million offer. I guess we'll just have to see. Are they going to be petty and just wait it out, but then they'll take the long hit and they'll take the hit in the long run? I don't know. Hopefully they'll be reasonable. I understand maybe from their point of view they actually have a talent for this club, so they want to be able to get something from him. But that's business, I guess. Sometimes you're going to get screwed over. Let's see. Joseph said, "Oh, that's dope. I do private security, so I know what you mean." And Caballo. Okay, thanks. I tried. I thought it was, but the difference between like sometimes like Spanish pronunciations and Italian pronunciations of the double L sound, so I never know how to use it. But I appreciate it. Anton is saying that Agent CR7 got Kaio. I will say that I feel like. I feel like that probably did play a role in it. You hear all the news and you hear the rumors of people pushing, saying that Kaio Jorge is the next Ronaldo or the next Neymar or whatever. I'm sure it was definitely very, very appealing to him to come maybe learn under Ronaldo for a year, and maybe that's why some things are playing out right now where he's trying to be like, let me get over there as soon as possible so I can go train with him. Because I have to imagine anybody. If you got this experience and the chance to go play with somebody who's one of the best in the game, if not the best, depending on if you're Julian or not, that you may look at it that way. Let's see what else we got. Edgar said Ramsey and British players are fit with a never say die attitude, but do not have much technique and football ideas. Yeah, I can see that. I think you all are maybe having a conversation down there. Let's see. Andrew said, I think Paulo has got it but needs some work. Always have had confidence in La Jolla. He is a 7-year veteran after all. I do too. I have faith that as long as he stays healthy and as long as he, that's a big if because, everybody's getting hurt left and right. Anything could happen. But I think he definitely could shine under Allegri coming back. The fix, you want a captain that loves Juventus, and that's usually by how long they're there. Yeah, definitely. I think, obviously a lot of people were either, the snake memes and all that when it comes to Bonucci of him going there. So, yeah, I feel like maybe some people may still look at it as an affront that he even wears the captain's armband when he does do that. I don't know. I don't know if I'm exactly feeling that way, but I do understand that feeling, as a fan. But let's see. Ryan, the one with Kanye West or Eminem, I was referring to what you said about Bernardeschi. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I thought that's what you were saying, but I wasn't sure. Max has said that the conference that Ronnie will be in, in the conference, Ronnie will be in the rotation. He's a player of Juventus. We were missing a boss. Yeah, that's true. 1 sec, let me get it right. Thank you. And then Michael Calabrese said, great work, Justin. Thank you. Appreciate it. Always like to be pumped up, but I appreciate it. Thank you. He says, do you prefer, I lost it. Oh, would you rather have a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1? I think I'd rather have a 4-2-3-1. Excuse me. Sorry. I usually try to mute it whenever I'm going to cough directly into the mic. I prefer to have it with back being Dybala in the middle, Chiesa and Kulusevski on the side, and then Ronaldo at the 1 is what I would prefer. I think I like that move. I'd like to see definitely Kulusevski get a shot. I think Allegri can actually do something with him compared to, he may have been underutilized or maybe wasn't playing in the right style under Pirlo. So I think Allegri can actually do something with him. I'm excited to see him hopefully develop this year. Let me know your thoughts on that too. See, Hassan, Juventus Forza, yes, sir. Or yeah, let's see. Joseph's back saying Allegri knows that Dybala is a long-term and Ronaldo is it. Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like we kind of felt like that maybe from day one with the Ronaldo situation is when he came in. It's like, how long when you have a player like that? How long are they going to be here? They're not one of the long, grinded out. They're not the Buffons. They're not the Del Piero. Where something happens, he's 1 foot out the door while those guys are entrenching themselves with your club, and they're going to stay there and do what they can to keep this ship running. Let's see. Juve Piero. So your name always throws me off because the Juve in the middle. So I want to say Del Piero Juve or whatever. But anyway, I love Dybala, but we should probably not build a team around an injury-prone player. That's fair. That's definitely fair. That's the one thing. As soon as we heard, that Dybala was out this last weekend, that's the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, crap. Like all the talks about the extension of the contract, bringing him back in. I'm like, are we gonna? And I don't want to think this about Dybala because I don't want to compare him to Khedira or whoever or anything like that. But like, is this could be another situation that like I'm a little snake bitten? Does that mean that we need to back away from this? Do we need to be like, maybe here's a 1-year contract. We'll see how it plays out. He probably wouldn't agree to that, obviously, but that's where my mind goes, at least, if that makes sense. Homie Juve says he's not injury prone. Okay, yeah, as long as I'm hoping he's not injury prone. I think a lot of people they remember the last year, and then those were kind of lingering injuries, lingering whatever have you. And then we had. I apologize if you hear any sounds that coming in. It may be echo. I heard my son's here, and he is currently crying. So if you hear any sounds, that's what you're hearing. Let's see, Michael. If Ronaldo doesn't re-sign, should Juve pay Haaland's release clause? I don't know. Like I would definitely go for Haaland. I would definitely go for him. I just don't know that he's really an option. I think really the situation either was it. Fill me in, okay, with Haaland, because I think I've moved on from Haaland, so I haven't followed it as close as I would have. I know Real Madrid was an option, and then isn't there a Premier League club? Is it Chelsea or is it? Fill me in. Let me know what I'm saying if I'm wrong or right about which one's like really turning up the heat with him about going after Haaland. Let's keep going. I want to try to touch on all these. I want to touch on all you guys as much as I can. Is what I'm saying. Your comments. Let's see. If Dybala gets hurt, who would be put in his place in the formation? You got it, Morata, right? Would you? Well. See, Morata's more of a 9. That's an interesting thought. I don't know. Like, what would you do? Or would you just switch to a 4-3-3 then? Would you switch it back? Anyway. I keep leaving Morata out, too. I forget about him. I think he can definitely bring something to the table. I think there's some stuff with Morata that he gets forgotten or he gets, we're moving on from him, maybe unfairly. We'll see. Edgar, if we were talking rap music, I love Lost Boys more than Kanye. Anyone like Mr. Cheeks and Freaky Ta, R.I.P. Lost Boys. Okay. Fill me in because I'm hearing that song. I don't know why that's not coming to me. Is that what year is this from? Let me know what year it's from because I'm like, am I too old or am I too young? Is it something that I'm forgetting? Let me know with that reference. Michael Calabrese. McKinney or Berna. Oh yeah. There you go. That's a good response. Rajiv, hello. How you doing? Appreciate you joining us. Let's see. Homo Juve. We should probably build around Berna and Rugani. Yeah, that's exactly what's gonna happen. Berna and Rugani are gonna be those pillars that we're gonna have going forward because they're not leaving. They're never gonna leave. Let's see what we got here. I agree with you. 4-2-3-1 view of Chiesa, Dybala, and Kula as a 3. I prefer Icardi to CR7. The former is more of a team player. Yeah, you're probably right about that. I haven't been super high on Icardi, but I've definitely come around on him since we've had the conversations that have been going on with if Ronaldo's out, if he's going to PSG, bringing him in, he's a solid option, especially when you look at the table. And just to be honest, there's not really a lot of top options unless you're talking about what I want to talk about, which is going after Vlahovic next season, not this summer. It's not going to happen this summer, but I would rather put all my eggs in the Vlahovic basket. That's who get Locatelli this season. Obviously, you have to think about the left back position and all that, but I want to go after Vlahovic. That's the assault I want for the next summer or 2022 Mercado. Let's see. Rajiv, why Italian clubs and German clubs poor as compared to English club? It's just, it's that Premier money. That's all it is. I don't know what else to say. It's the Premier League and Spanish clubs, yeah. Home Juve Delict. Ryan says no. I would prefer any striker other than Icardi. Okay. Apparently Ramsey booed today on the way in. That doesn't surprise me. The one thing I've learned is that Italian fans as passionate as fans are here in America, Italian fans don't give two bleeps about, the I don't want to say political correctness or what have you, but when it comes to the situation of they don't care to come in and let you know how they feel, and they're not going to mince any words. It's coming at you full force, and Ramsey's probably going to be receiving that, until he leaves, I'd imagine. Let's see. The fix is always in Nothing Beats Biggie, Tupac, Classic Dre, Cube, and Snoop. Yeah. All those love them. Love from that era onto, I'd probably say, and this is aging me a bit. I mean, I've been pretty open about how old I am and, stuff like that. To when I was in high school, America high school, I'm sure if it's not high school wherever you live, it's, your senior year, whatever that stuff is. I would say until about 2006, 7 is when I enjoyed rap. From, the Biggie Pac era to about 06, 07, with some of those artists are my favorite. I still listen to them a lot today. Most rap after that is crap, especially mumble rap. I just can't get into it. I'm not going to say it's crap. It's not my preference. It's not my cup of tea, if you will. Let's see. Let me get another drink because I'm drying out over here. I've been up since 2 a.m. today, guys. It is 6:30 my time, so I've been up for, 12, 16 hours. Am I doing math right? Yeah, I'm exhausted. So let me try to power through these. Let's see. I think 4-3-3 is a better balance. Offense, more protection for Ronaldo. If he were to play on left wing, left wing, it would give the midfield rotation options. Since we're so overloaded with midfielders, maybe that's an option. I'm still higher on the 4-2-3-1 though. I like that option, especially with having Locatelli, and then you can kind of lower how many of the midfielders that we have to use right now. You have Locatelli, and then you could have, Rabiot or who have you, and Gertie, right? He's left-footed. Is that correct? Wait. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. Sorry, my brain's not processing right now. Let's see what else you got. A little bit of arguing. Everybody loves a little bit of arguing in the chat that we got going here. Also, like I said, I want to make sure I repeat this. If you're in the chat right now, if you haven't subscribed, if you haven't liked the video, please do that now. Really helps us bring more. And I promise you, you won't have a lot of these days where it's just me. You'll get Julian back, and he'll be giving you his intellectual thought on all of this when it comes to Juventus and everything that you really care about and want to hear. Let me actually pull back. Okay. Last couple things that we have here. Juve have Dybala and AMF, Locatelli loading for DMF. Defensive midfielder, yeah. And all they need is a complete playmaker and LB. Quadrado's right back. Yeah, you definitely do need a left back. I just don't know what options you really have right now to really pursue. And unfortunately, that's why we're really stuck with Alexandro and hoping that he doesn't get injured, because then we have Pellegrini, who... Does anybody know the situation with Luca Pellegrini, where literally he said... The reports were that he was injured, but he looked pretty healthy out there practicing with the rest of the team that I saw in photos, at least, and a little bit of video. Any update on that situation that I haven't followed too closely when it comes to him. But it was also kind of disappointing to see more of him and his performance, on Saturday. The grind is on. Oh, no. Joseph, what are you saying here? Let's see what we got here. Sorry, Alejandro's stirring the pot with Julian and myself, telling him that I'm talking some serious smack about him when he's not on here. But Joseph, you were saying mumble rap is just a good beat with the Dr. Seuss book style rhyme book. Yeah, basically. I thought you were about to take up for them, and I was about to be like, oh no, Joseph and I are going to be battling on here. But I agree with you. Sorry, I'm like, I just respond to everyone. Yeah, no, it's good. Homo Juve, I like that you respond to everyone. That's kind of the fun of this, is having like a community where you can talk and most of your names in here. What's up, Federico Chiesa? I see you, my guy. Most of you, we kind of know, we see each other, name your names, whatever it is, repetitively. I kind of like that. I like getting familiar with individuals, and then you can have these, kind of responses back and forth. Edgar said that the 90s was a golden era of rap music. Juve and Serie A, NBA and Jordan and the Bulls. Yes. Okay. Yes. Thank you. You won me over with bringing up the Jordan and the Bulls. It was a good time to be a teenager. Wow. Okay. You were a teenager then. I was a child. I was born in 1990. So when they were on that run on Space Jam, obviously all that, and then now I'm still trying to see. It's unfortunate that I can't really trust in the American justice system, because I would like to press charges against LeBron James for raping my childhood for what he did with Space Jam 2. It's a terrible affront to what Space Jam was. But being serious, Michael Jordan, Space Jam, the Chicago Bulls, all of that. That's the heyday of NBA basketball to me. It was so much fun to watch that. Let's see. Early Cypress 2, Cypress Hill, yes, that is true. Temple of Boom was like a horror album, so dark after 4 went downhill. Yep, that's true. Definitely agree with you there. And then the Fix says, I like all kinds of music. Massive Rush fan, too. But yeah, mumble rap is not for me, but I like more or less of everything. Okay, so if you like Fix, I don't know how old you are, but you like Rush. So if you like Rush, my question is, okay, there's a band that I've been a big fan of. It's a little bit out there for me, honestly, even, because some of the stuff is, kind of like metal or dark or whatever. But it's Coheed and Cambria. I don't know if you've heard of them. A lot of people associate the way he sings and his vocals with the lead singer of Rush and the way they do things like that. Let me know if you've heard of them. I like all kinds of music. Honestly, my favorite probably are like a lot of 90s, like, Offspring, Green Day, stuff like that. So the stuff I grew up on, I loved all that kind of music too. I like anything. One thing I really don't like is country music, like American country music. Not a big fan. Let's see. Joseph, I cherish my childhood. I will not watch Space Jam 2. All remakes have been horrible recently. Should have been a straight-to-DVD movie. Well, luckily, I didn't pay for it to go see Space Jam. I have another means of watching it. I have a friend who provides it to me. That's all I'm going to say. Basically, I watched it and was not impressed. Was not impressed with his acting or a lot of things going on with it. That's all I'll say. Rajiv, why don't Juve sell Bentancur? He's not good at those positions. Yeah. Well, the deal with Bentancur is, honestly, right now you can't sell Bentancur. You don't want to sell Bentancur. Well, not that you don't want to. The reason you don't sell him is because of the Boca Juniors clause, where you're going to send all that money to them on any sale you make. So it's pointless. You can't do it. It doesn't make sense to do it right now. So that's the issue. Is he's off the table when it comes to sales, unless you're not going to make money off of it. So it's pointless. Just keep Bentancur until that clause runs out. Whenever it is, I don't have it off the top of my head, but whenever that clause runs out is when you really make that move. That's the way I would go about it. One sec. Okay. Michael, how far do you think Juventus will get in the Champions League with the players available right now and Locatelli? Okay. Here's the way I kind of look at it right now. And honestly, the way my situation when it came to Juventus and where they are, if this makes sense, with last year, the way it played out, honestly, a prayer that they, answered, that they made the Champions League. I don't expect a lot out of them. I would say I would have expected more of the same of the last couple of years, but you bring Max Allegri in, and Max Allegri, as he knows success in the Champions League. He knows how to win. He's a proven winner. May not be the most beautiful basketball, the most beautiful football you've ever seen, but he wins. He finds a way to win. He's got some key pieces. You bring in Locatelli. Maybe you get some other kind of, a Florenzi or somebody like that, just to, give us a little bit more depth, something like that. And maybe he can make a decent little run. I don't expect us, obviously, to go in and just win the Champions League. It's not going to happen. Maybe. But that's the way I look at it. I think there's an opportunity to dream of a run, at least to make an effort because of Allegri. Before that, I probably would have said, I just want to win Serie A, and that's what I'm looking at right now. And obviously, that's still where I am right now. I'm more focused on get back to winning Serie A, dethrone Inter. They shouldn't have won it, but don't let them establish anything where they're winning multiple seasons. Focus on winning that, and then we can focus back on the Champions League. I know that may not be something that a lot of people want to hear or agree with, but that's the way I look at it, at least. Let's see what else we got here, guys. Allegri will bring the best out of Bentancur. Yeah, I hope so. I think he can definitely do some of that. I think so, at least. Let's see. Rush Singer started out high. It was the 70s, but his voice matured as he grew. Coheed, not bad. Well, thank you. I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, I like. They're some of my favorites. It was when I was in middle school and high school, and they came around here and they played a lot here locally. I ended up knowing the guy, and they're just really, really nice guys. Really cool stuff that they did with it, and all that. Let's see. Fix is always in. Also says champions out of group stage will be okay. Scudetto priority without question. Yeah. Exactly where I am. Like right now, just focus on the Scudetto, win the Scudetto again, and then we can get back to it. Obviously, you want to get everything you can out of this, maybe being Ronaldo's last season. I'm just going to set the bar low. That's all I can say is I want to set the bar low, and then I'm not going to be disappointed. Because if I come in this thinking that they're going to, make a run to the semifinals or something like that, I'm just going to be disappointed. Is the way I'm looking at it. And I don't want to do this all over again right now. Rajib, Juve always prefers defensive midfielders and defensive fullbacks. That's the reason they're not that quick in the counters. Okay. Yeah, and Joseph, Juve needs the money from Champions. Yeah. Make sure you keep, sustain that in Champions League. Maybe try to please get, a little bit deeper in it so you can have that money to rely on to put that money into somebody, maybe a Vlahovic, maybe whatever have you, and then we can be good to go and maybe dream for the next couple seasons. Let's see. Anything else we got in here before we wrap it up? I apologize, guys. I need to go pass out. Like I said, it's been a long, long day for me. I appreciate all of you tuning in. I appreciate all you guys continuing to support the channel, liking the videos, subscribing, and all that you do. If you're not subscribed right now and you're here, please subscribe. If you have any friends that haven't subscribed as well, have them subscribe as well. Join the community and all that. Last one I'll read. Michael Captaincy said, I don't know. Mancini was absolutely crazy good as Italy's head coach. His tactics got the best out of everyone, and management was so inspirational. That's a good point. If you get something similar out of that, I mean, look at the turnaround that really, I didn't even think that we could even dream of winning the Euros right now. So, okay, this will be the last. Joseph, are you going to do watch-alongs when the season starts? We'll talk about that. I need to get with Julian and Alejandro and see what they want to do. It's a possible thing that we could do, but I think, honestly, I don't know if you want to do watch-alongs with me because I don't think I'm that interesting. When it comes to me as a fan, I sit there and I more am angry the entire time until something good happens, and then I'm like, okay, good job. That's it. Like that's. I mean, I don't know. I'm not as animated as I am. I'm probably lying. And if you ask my wife, she'll probably tell you that's not true at all. I actually am animated, but I feel like when I see myself doing it, if that's something that y'all would be interested in and actually want to like hang out, do lives, have the chat and all that during games, we could talk about that for sure. I feel like I definitely would want to have, maybe two of us at least. I don't know. We'll see what works out, but maybe having like Julian or somebody else join in with us, somebody who can give a little bit more in-depth, breakdowns or, something else from it, especially when we go into doing the post matches afterwards. Anyway, that'll do it for today's live. I appreciate y'all joining us. I'm going to have to wrap it up now. But thank you all for joining us. Hopefully you'll come by tomorrow. I think Julian should be back. And hopefully we'll actually have everything done and smoothly. And we can actually dive into a little bit of this more together. He can give you a little bit more of a, more thought out. He's got a good, really thoughtful sense of way of talking about things that maybe I'm not as good at doing. But I appreciate y'all being part of this. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri.